Hi guys, how you all going? Just wait for a few people to jump through as they're coming through, which would be awesome. And I'll just spotlight cameras, things. Yep. And that one. Awesome. How is everyone today? Feel free to jump off mute and say g'day. It's a pretty casual night, so glad you all could make it. We're just waiting for a few extra to come in. I'll just have that mouse. I'd love to know if you can pop in the chat for me, please, where you're coming from tonight, what Thermomix you have or don't have yet, that's fine too. I'd love to hear about what you're hoping to achieve from tonight's session as well. If you've got any particular questions or concerns when it comes to feeding Bubs or, weaning, that sort of stuff, pop it in the chat and we'll see if we can answer some of those questions for you. And I think we'll just get started. So a few people will pop in as we move along. So tonight's class, I really wanted to bring an event that sort of helped a lot of the young mums out there, as well as, helping with their weekly meal plan, helping with baby with their feeding and getting to know a little bit about what a Thermomix can do to help you both time and money in the kitchen. So we've got two screens on tonight. So the one you can just see, it's just the Thermomix. So you'll see me working through that. And this one here, I'll be using this as well. So we're going to be using the two to make the most of our time together today. So Caitlin's coming from Ballarat. She's hoping to learn lots for future kids one day. Absolutely. So look, you're off to a good start, Caitlin. That's absolutely for sure. So, okay, so what we're going to do is, to begin with, I'm going to show you how you can use your Thermomix to make a layered meal. So you can cook your meat, your veggies all in one hit, which is easier when you're doing family meals, quick, short time frame, and you're able to do other things while that's cooking away in the Thermomix, which I think is the main thing a Thermomix can do. You don't have to be standing there over the stove cooking away. It can be doing it itself. We're then going to move into some snacks for people who are breastfeeding. We're going to do some lactation cookies. I'll show you those, and we're going to make an almond slice. We're then going to move on to 0 to 6 months. We're going to show you how quick and easy it is to puree some fruit, to make some banana custard from scratch so you're not picking up all that sugar and additives. We're going to be blitzing up some roast chicken and vegetables, so we're going to show you how to do that. We've also got some bliss balls. We're going to be making a zucchini slice. I'm going to be showing you how you can sterilise your bottles in your Thermomix as well. So we're just going to get started. So I hope that's something that if you've got any questions as we go along, please pop them in the chat or feel free to jump off mute and just ask away. I'm happy for that. So the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to show you. So the Thermomix 6 has all the, we've got a recipe platform called cookiedoo.com.au. If you're not a member of that, you need to jump in and sign up. You can get 30-day free trial to have a look around. It then downloads straight onto your Thermomix 6, which is absolutely fantastic. So what we've got here over on this screen here, I've put on our meal plan, and this is everything that we're going to be cooking tonight. So what I did, I saved it to our meal plan. I did up a shopping list. I could have then sent that off to Woolworths and had it delivered to me. But this time I actually checked off most things I already had, which is great. So I'm a really strong believer in using what you've got in your pantry or your fridge and subbing out what you can. So we've got Kelly from Geelong. She's breastfeeding at the moment and she's on Bubba number 3. Congratulations, you're doing an awesome job, Cal. We've got some wonderful snacks here for you for breastfeeding mums, which is fantastic. So the first thing I want to show you is how you can do a really quick meal for your family using the Thermomix in a layered style. So we're going to be doing the Asian style chicken and rice. So I'm literally just going to click into that recipe. I'm going to click start and we're going to move along. So it's asking me to place a mixing bowl on the lid and add in some chicken, which I have got in the fridge. That's a good start, isn't it? So I cut this up into small pieces a bit earlier on. So here's my chicken. There's just some chicken breasts I've done there. And now we're going to set that aside and we're going to add in some fresh parsley. So this is great if you've got your own fresh herbs and veggies in your garden. You're going to save a lot of money. So we just need to tear that back and throw in our parsley. That's 6. I reckon that's enough for me. You can tweak these recipes to do whatever you want, a little bit more, a little bit less. It's not going to really matter. It's now asking me to insert the lid. Hit next, and we're going to blitz that down for 3 seconds. So that was pretty straightforward. So that's just chopping down the herbs ready for our chicken salad. So let's have a look at that, all chopped up in 3 seconds. Pretty good. So if you've got a herb garden, that's a great way of saving some money. I would recommend putting in basil, parsley, some rosemary. We tend to use a lot of those basic herbs. And it saves you a fortune if you can grow some yourself. Okay, so moving along, it's asking me for 30 grams of soy sauce. So once again, I tear back the scales and bring it back to 0. So it's literally going to weigh in as I go. That's close enough. 25 grams of olive oil. I love how you can just go straight from the containers. You don't have to worry about cups or spoons. You can just measure straight up. Insert the measuring cup, hit next, 3 seconds on speed 4. So what we've just done there in 3 seconds, we've actually just done our marinade for our chicken. So, you know those times when you want to do a really quick marinade and you just, you know, you've got those jars that are pre-done, ready to go. You don't need to. You can just make it yourself and it'll cost you a whole lot less. Okay, so that's our marinade for our chicken. And it tells you step by step, transfer it into a bowl with your chicken. So if you haven't used a Thermomix before at all, or you're not really confident in the kitchen, that's fine because it tells you step by step, every step of the way. Okay, so that's our marinated chicken. I'm going to hit next, cover with Glad wrap and put it in the fridge. So I'm not going to wait too long tonight. I'm just going to keep moving along. It's asking for 1 garlic, which I'll throw that in. Some ginger, so just a quick fresh ginger from the supermarket, put that in. Insert measuring cup again. Speed 8 for 3 seconds. And that splits that down for us. Show you that. There we go, 3 seconds. Chopped up the garlic and the ginger. It's now asking for 45 grams of olive oil. I'm quite happy to reduce a bit of the oil. It's up to you if you want to follow the recipe step by step or reduce it down a little bit. That's quite okay too. It's asking now for some onions. So if there's anything I love about my Thermomix, it's the fact that I don't have to chop onions ever again. So these are literally just in quarters and I'm just throwing those in. It's asking for 150 grams of red pepper. Now you'll notice that the scales are always coming back to 0. So you literally just have to throw them in It pre-weighs it for you. If it's a bit under, it doesn't matter. Insert measuring cup. And 3 seconds on speed 4. I don't know what you can do in 3 seconds, but I don't know that I'd be chopping onion and capsicum in 3 seconds. There it is there. Quick flick. Scrape down the sides, which is pushing everything down to the bottom. Now it's asking for 900 grams of vegetable stock. So I'm just going to put in some water because I make the veggie stock paste and the chicken stock paste. So if you haven't done those yet, put them on your list. You'll never have to buy liquid stock or stock cubes ever again. This is made just from leftover chicken. I keep it in the freezer. Saves an absolute fortune. That liquid stock, it's like $3 for a litre. Ridiculous. Some salt, I don't need to add that. Some pepper, insert the simmering basket. So what we've just done is we've made our liquid stock for our rice dish. So we've put all our fresh ingredients in. We're putting our simmering basket in with 200 grams of rice. So we're throwing that in the top. And it's asking me to weigh the rice in, which I've already done. Insert measuring cup, which means put the lid on, like so. And cook that down for 10 minutes. So you can see everything is pre-programmed. You don't have to worry too much. It's just going to cook away there for us. So while that's happening, I thought we'd move on to a beautiful slice for postnatal or breastfeeding mums. So absolutely beautiful. So Kelly, your scales aren't working. I'm going to reach out to you at the end of the class and I'm going to put in a service case so we can get those fixed for you. That's not a problem at all. Okay, so while that's going there, I'm just going to move along to this machine and I'm going to be whipping up a cashew and almond slice. Caramel, almond and cashew slice. Now, this is really good for postnatal because it's full of almonds, dark chocolate, some dates, cashews, all that good stuff. And this one is so quick and easy. You're going to do it in no time at all. Okay, so once again, it's on my meal plan. All I need to do is literally push start cooking, freeze and line a square tape tip, which I've got here. All done. 150 grams of almonds. Now it says toasted almonds. It doesn't matter. You can have, I just use whatever I've got. Almonds are really good for milk production. So they're really great for breastfeeding mums. And this is a great snack for you to have. It's a little bit sweet. So you feel like you're having that sweet treat without too much of that artificial sugar. 150 of cashew nuts, 160 of dates straight in. Now we're going to insert the measuring cup and we're going to crush them down. 3 seconds on speed 6. Now, I know for a lot of these sort of slices, if you're lucky enough to find them in the health food shops or whatever, you pay an absolute fortune for them. So that's just all cut down there. That's our almonds and our dates all mixed down. And you can cook all these from scratch with basic ingredients. It's now asking for 40 grams of cranberries. And don't be scared to change up the ingredients. Like if you don't like cashews, put something else in. The almonds are really good for the lactation effect. So we want to keep those almonds in there. It's asking for 40 grams of virgin coconut oil straight in there. Now you can buy that really cheaply at Aldi. They have a great coconut oil. It comes on special often. 65 grams of almond butter. Now this is one that I purchased. It was on sale really cheap, so I just grabbed it, but you can make your own nut butters. So coconut butter, almond butter, peanut butter, and we can do that in a whole nother class. There's a heap of things you can do. It's asking for 60 grams of honey. So once again, all natural ingredients. Most of this stuff we find in your pantry. It's asking for roasted wattle seed. I don't have it. I'm going to leave it out. And half a teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, some cinnamon. And some sea salt. I'm going to leave that out too. That's fine. Insert measuring cup. I'm going to mix that for 40 seconds on reverse speed 3. So when we go into reverse, it's actually just mixing it. It's not going to chop it down any further. So it's going to be nice and crunchy for us in a slice. Okay, so let's have a look. So that was about 30 seconds. It looks amazing. It's glossy, it's chunky, it's absolutely delicious. So the recipe is now asking us to transfer that into a prepared tin, which I've got here. Now with the baking paper, a little tip, if you don't know, rip off a little bit of baking paper, wet it under the tap, just slightly damp, and then give it a scrunch it up. And when you lay it down in your container, it will easily fit in there for you. So you won't have to worry about, you know, trying to make it fit, especially if you're doing round stuff. Now, this slice, you could make this into individual ones if you wanted to. You know, the individual little silicone molds. I've got some here, like this one. You could use something like that. So you make little individual slices, or you can just cut it up as it's going. So all I'm doing is I'm just pushing this down into the tray. So that's that. Look how chunky and beautiful that is. That's purely just a mix of nuts, dates, some nut butter, sugar, honey. It's all natural. So what we do now is we're going to pop that in the fridge, and we're going to cover that with some dark chocolate in a little while. So while we're on that one, that is really great for breastfeeding mums. It actually helps with the production of milk, and it's beautiful and tasty. It's that really nice sweet treat, you know, of a night time without being too over the top. The other thing that is really good, and I would encourage you all to make them during your breastfeeding, is these lactation cookies. Now, I've pre-made those because literally what we do is we pop the ingredients in and we mix it for 30 seconds. That's it. Pretty much just like we did with this slice here. So these recipes are all available on Cookie Do, and I'll be sending out an email to you all with those recipes attached, so you can try those out. These are really yummy. Makes about 16 in a batch, and very, very cost effective. Once again, full of oats and almonds, raisins, which help with that production, as well as some brewer's yeast, which is always really handy. So there's some good little tips for our breastfeeding mums. And they're the ones to have during even during the pregnancy. You know, just before Bub arrives, it can definitely help with that. Okay, so we transfer that mixture into the fridge. It stays there for 2 hours, and then we're just going to melt down some chocolate and pour it over the top. I'll show you that in a little bit later on. Does anyone have any other tips as far as milk production for our breastfeeding mums here? Any questions or good tips that you all have? Okay, so we're going to move along. So that's for our snacks. So over here on this machine, it's down to 1 minute. So I've also showed you that it can be cooking dinner while you're doing other things. So that's the best part of it, absolutely. So what I want to show you now is we're going to move on to roast. So everyone does, you know, a Sunday roast or a roast during the week, and we're thinking, oh, you know, we've got our 6-month, he's just started some food, I better make him something else. You don't need to. They can actually have part of the roast dish. So I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is. One, to shred some chicken in your Thermomix. So if you're doing, you know, if you're having babies sort of start to explore a bit of food on their own, shredded chicken is a really good option. You can just shred it down, pop a few pieces on his little high chair, and then you've got the rest there for your own sandwiches and things. So before I do anything, I'm going to show you how to shred chicken. Now this is the same if you've got roast lamb or whatever, it doesn't matter. So what we do is we've just got pieces of cooked chicken. We're going to pop them in. It's pretty easy. You can put the butterfly on if you want to, but a lot of the time you don't need to. So the butterfly is this whisk. We use that for pavlovas or whipping and things like that. So I'm just going to show you quickly. This is easy, reverse speed, and it literally takes 4 seconds. Reverse. On. Done. That was actually 5 seconds. And now we've got lovely shredded chicken. Little pieces for little people. Great for if you're just starting to wean your baby and you're wanting them to explore a little bit about texture of food and putting a little bit in their mouth. Shredded chicken is definitely the way to go. So what you could do, you could put some of that aside now instead of adding the roast veggies down to a mash. So that's probably when they're over their 6-month period. And they're starting to explore a little bit with the with the textures, because I need to practice their jaw movement and stuff like that to learn how to eat it. So, okay, so that's shredded chicken. Speed 4, reverse 4 seconds. Quick and easy. Okay, so here we've got our roast lamb puree. There is a recipe on the recipe community if you wanted to follow it, but I've just used some roast veggies that I've got. So I'm just going to scroll down and start where it says to pop it in to mix it, which is here. So you can start your recipe part way through and it's fine. It's asking for some turmeric. I'm not going to put in the turmeric today. I just think at this, when it's so early, turmeric might not quite be a flavour that's sort of new to the baby. So I'm just going to leave it neutral. I'm just going to have the chicken and the vegetables. So this is roast capsicum, carrot, beetroot, and sweet potato. So I've literally, could be anything. Could be any kind of roast that you want to do, any kind of leftovers that you've got at home, just to put them straight in. Hit next and insert measuring cup, and it's literally going to go for like 10 seconds. So this can be for any kind of meal. Speed 8. let's have a look. So depending on what the texture you like. So that is down to a very fine mash consistency. It's got beautiful flavours. What you can do, if obviously when you first start, you want it to be a little bit thinner or a little bit softer going through, you can add some breast milk or whatever milk of choice, your formula, whatever you're doing, and just blend that through so it's a little bit softer for your bub to try as well, especially if you're spoon feeding. If you're going to be weaning where they just explore for themselves, little tiny pieces of this would be great just on their feeding table. So I'm going to pop this in a little bowl so you can see the texture. Okay, so there it is. It's nice and bright, and it's a great different meal for baby. As you can see, it's really quite a thick mash, and as I said, don't be scared to use a little bit of milk or breast milk to mix it through and make it a little bit, you know, the thinner consistency. Another great tip I would do for this, like this is a big batch, so you can either freeze these in ice cube containers if you want to, and then just pop out enough once they're frozen, or I like these little tubs you get just from the $2 shop. You can fill those up or half fill them, add a little bit of milk, mix it through, and you've got a whole meal. They're ready to go. So that's a good well-balanced meal. Bit different. I know when we're doing babies and stuff, they tend to start on, you know, your potato, pumpkin, all that sort of bland stuff. They don't need to. They can start on any kind of vegetables that you eat yourself. One thing to be mindful of is just because you don't like a vegetable doesn't mean your children won't. So if you don't like eating beetroot or whatever, still serve it up to them. Get them to try the texture, try the flavours, and get to know different foods. Absolutely key. Okay, so that's a roast lamb, roast chicken and vegetable puree, which is really, really quick and easy. And that can be straight after your own roast meal. So it doesn't have to be separate at all. So on this one, this is our rice and our chicken and rice. So that's finished now. It's asking me to put the chicken in the varoma, which is awesome. The varoma just sits straight on top, like so. And we're going to steam through the layers here. So where did I put my chicken? Marinated chicken. Here it is. Do you lose stuff? I lose stuff all the time. Okay, so we've got our chicken marinating. It's just asking me to pop it in the tray, which I've done. Place varoma dish into position and insert a tray. Over here. Chicken's going on top with the marinade and all. It's just going to sit on top there. Yep. Hit next. Weigh in some broccoli. Few broccoli pieces on top. Some carrot. And cover the varoma. So you can see here we're doing, the base is our stock. We've got rice in our simmering basket and we've got our vegetables on top. So that's all going to be cooking all at the same time. Put that on. And that's going to cook down for 10 minutes. So once again, what could you do in that 10 minutes while you've got dinner for the family going? You don't have to stand there and stir it or anything, which is awesome. I'd love to hear any other dishes that you guys have made while I quickly just rinse these out. Can't have enough bowls, in my opinion. Okay. So with the Thermomix, it actually washes itself as well. So, but I'll show you that later on. I just wanted to get these done and washed for you. Okay. Moving along, we're going to do a sweet puree now, which you can buy these things in the supermarket, but seriously, they are, you know, you're paying a fortune for like 50 grams and you don't need to. You can do them really quickly at home and it costs you next to nothing because you've got all the stuff ready to go. Okay, this one is going to be a mango, kiwi and mint puree. When I had my little ones, I probably wouldn't have thought to bring these combinations together. It was very boring, very much just the plain old mashed banana or pureed apple or something like that. So it's really great to introduce these new flavours. So we're going to find it in my meal plan, go to my week, scroll down, mango, kiwi and mint is here. I'm just going to put this over onto this machine just so you can see it, and I'm going to start cooking. Yes. So 150 grams of mango. So just hit 10 so your scales come back to 0. We're going to add that in. A little bit under, it doesn't matter. It's asking for 1 kiwi peeled and cut into pieces, which I've done. And some mint leaves. So I've just used a little bit of dried mint, but if you've got mint leaves at home, go for it. Insert measuring cup, which means put your lid on. And we're going to do that for 15 seconds on speed 8. Done. So 10 seconds, it probably take you 10 seconds to open up a jar and you can blitz this down yourself. So let's have a look. Oh, this smells so fresh and delicious. The mango and the kiwi. Yum. Kids are going to love this. Absolutely love it. And the colours are nice and bright. So let's have a look. I'll put one in one of my containers just so I can show you the colour. Now, it doesn't make a lot, so this would last a couple of days in the fridge, probably up to 2 days. Or once again, you could freeze it in smaller lots here. So I'm actually just going to pop it in this container. You can see I've got these little molds here, and I'm just going to fill them up a little bit. So this would be good when you're first testing the feeds. They only really eat, you know, a teaspoon, or they build up to a tablespoon. So these little molds are probably a really good option for you. So once they're frozen, just pop them out and pop them in a snap-lock bag or, you know, a freezer container so that you can just grab one out at a time. You don't have to unmold them or anything. You can literally just pop them out when they're frozen and you've got enough there for Bubs for a sweet snack. There we go, we've got our container, or you can do it in the molds, whichever suits you better. This one, I reckon, would be great when they're starting to have their rice cereals. You could mix some of this through so it wasn't quite so bland, which would be a good trick. Any questions so far? I'll just go back through the chat and see if we've got any questions at all. Okay. No question. Fantastic. Awesome. So that was a really quick kiwi and mango and mint puree, which I think is absolutely brilliant. And those frozen little pieces of mango or little frozen pieces of banana, really nice for that hand-to-mouth texture as well, teaching that chewing motion as we go. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I want to show you how quick and easy it is to do a bliss ball. So the best speed to puree is on speed 4. Let me have a look. Actually, no, speed 8. So 4 is sort of chopping it down a bit. Once it's there, you want to hit it sort of speed 8 to get that really fine puree. If you want still a bit of texture, a bit of lump in there, probably go speed 5 or 6. And you don't need to go 100% smooth from the start. As long as the food is soft, it'll help Bubs with that jaw motion and learning how to eat. So there you go. Hope that helps. Okay, so we've done that. Set aside 1 serving and freeze the rest in individual containers. Now, a lot of these recipes have little tips as well. When it comes out of the freezer, if you need a little bit more milk or a little bit more water, feel free to mix it through, as we've mentioned before. It's also nice served with yogurt, which is awesome. So let's have a look at our banana custard. Now, yogurts and custard and purees is probably something that people would buy from the supermarket. And it's really quick and easy to do so in your Thermomix. So using bits and pieces that you've got at home, you don't have to make a whole mountain of food. You can, puree down your own meals, which we've shown you earlier as well. So banana custard, let's have a look. So this one is a banana coconut custard, and this is for around 6 to 9 months. So let's see how we do this. So let's start cooking. So it's asking for some dates. I'll just bring all the stuff over. So dates is a really good natural sweetener for your kids without going into the sugar, the artificial sugars. 3 dates straight in, 30 grams of desiccated coconut straight in, and you can see it's bringing up the scales straight away, so we don't have to weigh or anything, go straight in there. Insert the measuring cup, which I'll put a new lid. This is going to mill down for 20 seconds on speed 8. The milling is another great function. So a lot of the rice cereals that you buy at the supermarket, it's really just milled down rice. So you can do that in your own Thermomix as well. So let's have a look. So this was dates and coconut done. Can't get much easier than that, I wouldn't think. So hit next. Scrape down the sides. Get the spatula. When a recipe calls for that, it's literally just wanting you to push the ingredients back down onto the blades, like so. 200 grams of banana. So as you can see, the scales come straight up. It's going to weigh it for me. I just break it down into sort of bite-sized little pieces, throw them in. Oh, probably a little bit over, but it's not going to matter. Insert the measuring cup again and go for 10 seconds speed 4. Okay, let's have a look at that. So this is really a basic way to make custard at home without having to use a custard powder or anything. So that's a really nice puree just by itself as well. You could use that. It's now asking for milk of choice. So that's entirely up to you what you want to use, whether it be breast milk, cow's milk, formula, whatever. I'm going to use cow's milk today because the little bubba I'm giving this to is having a bit of cow's milk. She's about 8 months. So that won't matter if I use that. And we want 2 eggs. There are some other great custard recipes on Cookie Do as well. It's all cooking from scratch. Very basic. Eggs, milk, corn flour, bit of vanilla, and you're done. Okay. And 2 eggs and 1 egg yolk. Okay. So let's separate that one. That in. Hit next. 2.5 tablespoons of arrowroot flour. Now that's the same as corn flour. I find corn flour probably a little bit more processed than the arrowroot, but it's entirely up to you what you want it to do. And a little bit of cinnamon. So all very basic ingredients, and it's going to cook our custard down. Beautiful. Insert the measuring cup for 7 minutes on speed 3.5. So that's an easy one. Awesome. Made custard in the Thermomix before. It's so smooth, quick and easy, and it costs very little. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm just going to jump over to our main meal here and see what it wants me to do. Check the chicken is cooked. Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. It's absolutely beautiful. So you can see that bright vegetables. It looks delicious. I'll just double check. Yep, that's all good. Set the aroma aside and remove the simmering basket. So we're going to be getting our rice out. So I'm just going to pop that aside now. Now, when you're getting rice or anything out of your bowl, we need to make sure we're not going to burn our fingers. So that's what this little hook here on the side of our spatula is for. So we're literally just going to pop it into the little hole that's in the top of the basket, like so, and we're just going to lift it up. So it comes up straight up, and it's not going to burn your fingers or anything like that. Okay, we need to put that aside. So we use our aroma lid also as a great little drip tray. Okay, what's next? Keep the chicken, rice, and the vegetables warm while we prepare the sauce. Okay, small bowl on the lid, and we're going to add in 30 grams of corn flour. Put that on. A lot of the sauces you see these days on a lot of these recipes are literally, you just make your own thickener with the corn flour or the arrowroot. It's entirely up to you. 30 grams. As you can see, the scales are doing their job for me. Don't have to pre-weigh or anything. 40 grams of water. So what we're doing is we're mixing the corn flour into a paste before we put it through. Because if you throw it straight in, the corn flour, it's going to end up with all white little bits all through your sauce. So it wants us to mix that really well. So it's like a nice smooth liquid there. Okay, next, add the corn flour mixture. Insert measuring cup, and we're going to cook that down. So that's going to be a nice sauce there for our rice. for 1 minute on speed 3. Okay. While that's cooking, I'm just going to get out our thermoserver. Have you guys got thermoservers? I'd love to know if you have, because they're a great addition. They keep food hot or cold for up to 2 hours, which is really great. You know, if you want to cook the main meal early in the day, say 4 or 5 o'clock, and you're not ready for tea till 5:30 or 6, it'll keep it nice and warm for you. So I'm just going to pop the rice in. Looks absolutely delicious. I'm going to add in the vegetables and the chicken as well. This is a really simple dish you can do during the week on the table. There's another really good one called the chicken velouté, which is the layered cooking, which is really, really good. Kate, we could do a demo for you and you could end up with these thermoservers absolutely free. So I'll definitely talk to you about that one. Transfer rice chicken into a large serving bowl, done that, and pour the sauce over the top. So let's have a look. Look at that. It looks absolutely delicious. Just pour over the top. I'm going to mix that through. Yum. So this meal is a great meal for the family, as we said earlier, but it's also a great meal for babies. So I'm going to show you what I mean. I'm literally just going to put that back in. We're going to put in a scoop of our meal. Probably 2 tablespoons, bit of broccoli, bit of carrot, bit of capsicum. And I'm going to puree that down like we were talking about before. So I hope you can see that. You've got a beautiful meal for everybody else, and you've got a beautiful meal for baby as well. I'll pop it into this little container here. So it doesn't have to be a whole new meal. Bubs. And that little bit I'll put in there will probably do 2 meals, I reckon. There you go. You've got lunch for the next few days and it didn't take any time at all. So I hope that's a great little tip that you're going to use. You know, it's good for our babies and kids to try different things. Definitely. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to show you how to use a pre-clean function. So not only does your Thermomix make cooking really easy while you're doing other things, it can actually clean itself as well. So I'm literally just going to put that back in, like so, swipe across, pre-clean mode. So I click pre-clean. It tells me, was I doing dough? Was I just mixing food? Was I cooking food? Because it depends on how long you need the clean to go for. So we were cooking in this one. So I'm going to turn it around to fat or caramel because we had a bit of chicken and that going in there, and that's going to clean itself. So that is like at the end of the cooking, I serve up the dish and then I just turn that on and it's done. It cleans itself. So, which is awesome. Which is part of the TM6 function as well. So we've got a beautiful rice Asian dish for us, and we've got enough there for baby, and it took no extra time. We just blitzed it down a little bit further. So no problems getting out another blender or anything like that. You can just use your Thermomix, which is absolutely fantastic. I'm just going to put that aside for now. With aroma, I just want to talk to you about sterilising. So you can sterilise baby bottles and spoons and things in your aroma. So I've got some here. So you literally take your lids off, give them a good wash, soak with water, put them in. You're going to put around a litre of water in your bowl, and you're going to turn it on to aroma for 12 minutes. Then you're going to walk away, and the steam is going to sterilise those bottles for you. So I've just got 2 in there. For the smaller babies, it will probably fit about 6 to 8 in there as well. So probably 3 big ones that size, and probably 4 or 5 that size. But the little ones, you definitely fit more than that in there as well. So that's a good little tip. You don't need another appliance to do that, that's for sure. So let's have a look at our custard. Hit next. Keep the measuring cup in. And we're going to blend this down for 30 seconds. Speed 4, going up to speed 6. Okay. So when it comes to custard and yogurt, it's really handy to have the little pouches and things that you get in the supermarket. I get it. You can buy reusable pouches. Now, they're a great idea if you're, you're making some pots at yogurt and you want little containers each for baby's yogurt or custard or purees, and these can keep in the fridge. They're very economical. You just have a look. I think these ones come from eBay. So jump on and look for reusable pouches. This brand is Eco Squeezies. It's just random ones we found on eBay. So I know there's quite a few stores that do sell them. So love that idea. So they can be quick and easy in the fridge, ready to go, in their pouch already. So let's have a look at the custard. It smells delicious. Yum. So this is the banana coconut. Absolutely amazing. I'm literally just going to pour it in. I'm not going to fill these because when I get them out of the fridge, or when my sister gets them out of the fridge for her baby, for her granddaughter, she'll be able to add a little bit of milk or a little bit of water just to get the consistency right for what Bubs needs. This is also great for the older toddlers as well. And there's lots and lots of different custard recipes on Cookie Do. So make sure you check those out. Lots of yogurt. There's rice cereal recipes with the puree mix. There's lots of stuff available for you on Cookie Do. So there's our little custards ready to go. Freezer or fridge, it's entirely up to you. I love these little containers. I think they're just a perfect serving size. And they taste pretty good for us adults too. So there we are, all done. And that would make, there's a heap in there, so that would make probably, I don't know, a dozen, or feed it to the other kids, the older kids, or have it yourself. Tastes good. Okay, so what's next? What have we touched base on? I'm just going to do the bliss balls. Now, I think bliss balls are absolutely amazing. They're full of nutrition. They're quick, they're easy, they're a great snack to have as you pass in the fridge. I'll just rinse off this lid and I'll show you how quick it is. Okay, so the ones we're making today are called, I'll just find them. These are apricot and carrot bliss balls. Now, there's a lot of bliss balls on there for macadamia and chocolate, peanut butter bliss balls, salted caramel, you name it. Cookadoo have got it. So I'm doing the apricot and coconut ones today. So it's going to be so quick. They're so quick. It's amazing. Start cooking. It's asking for, I'll move that onto this one now. It's asking for hazelnuts. I don't like hazelnuts. So I'm using macadamias. Straight in. Hit next. Insert measuring cup. So these are going to crush down these nuts in 6 seconds. Hit next. Let's have a look at that. How's that? 6 seconds and they're crushed. No brainer, really, isn't it? I think so. Okay. Breakdown size. Once again, it's just pushing the ingredients back down to the blades. Hit next. It's asking for 100 grams of carrots. Throw them in. Some peanut butter or whatever nut butter you like. Now, these are for, obviously, the older kids. So you have to be careful when you're introducing peanut butter or nuts, obviously. But you do that at your leisure, and this is a really great recipe for getting those extra bits into them. 60 grams of coconut and 100 grams of dried apricots. Once again, these flavours are not something that I would have cooked for my kids. I was just your plain old pureed apple and pear and all that. And, you know, we're lucky these days we've got so many great produce that we can actually cook them from scratch in our Thermomix, which is absolutely fantastic. It's asking for cinnamon and also cardamom. So let's just pop some of that in. Pinch of salt, I'm not going to bother. Insert measuring cup, 12 seconds on speed 7. Let's have a look. Now, you know those little apricot bites you buy in the supermarket where you're not actually sure what's in them? These are exactly the same. Look at that. So, oh, can you see? Yep. So that's our blitzed down apricot and carrot. Now, if you're having little ones, this is a really good one. When they're starting to get their jaw working, you take a little piece of it, you roll it into a ball, like so. I'm just going to show you with my hands. So I've just got like a teaspoon. Oh, it's hard to see with the lights here. There it is. A teaspoon, and we literally just roll it into a ball and put them in the fridge. Now, for us, we can roll them in coconut as well. But for little ones, I'd be happy to break this down into, don't give them the whole bliss ball, obviously, but you want to break that down into little pieces like so once they're set, and they can just chew on those because they're nice and soft, all right? So a couple in the coconut for the adults and a couple without. So once again, a teaspoonful, roll them in the coconut and put them out there. And for baby, I'm just going to do little tiny ones without the coconut. You can put the coconut on if you want to, but I just think when they're just starting to try things out, the coconut over the outside might be a little bit much for them. So there they are. So this is going to make a whole lot. The other option, what you can do is you can put them in these snack molds. So literally, and this is great for any kind of things you do, like zucchini slices or anything like that. So you literally just push them into the mold. You could use this for, as I said before, the cashew slice that we did. There's some recipes for teething rusks and things like that as well. You could definitely use these molds for that. These are also great for muesli bars. So there they are. You just set them in the fridge in these molds, get them out when they're set, put them in a little container, and you're good to go. So there's some apricot bliss balls, which are great snacks for around that 9-month age group when they're starting to eat more on their own. That's a great recipe. Okay, I've got one more thing I want to show you. One more thing, which is so easy. I'm just going to get my bowl that I've cleaned. So just bear with me a second. We can turn that one off. See, it's all clean. I'm just going to tip it down the sink. Give it a rinse out. Make sure I get all the soap out of it. Easy one. This is my go-to for end of week clean out. Before I have a look and see what I'm going to be making the next week, I always go through all my veggies and see what I've got and what I don't have. So this is a really great one, not only to have for your lunches, but also for the little ones. So the age group, you know, up to 12 months, probably 9 to 12 months, can definitely try these out, and they're really good. They can just eat them as they go. So I'm basically just going to do a quick zucchini slice, and I'm going to show you how quick and easy it is to throw some ingredients in that are left over in the fridge and have enough for your meals for the rest of the week, really. So it's asking me to preheat the oven. Grate the cheese. Who grates their cheese? You don't need to buy grated cheese ever again. So let's start there. So we're about to put in 100 grams of cheese, whatever cheese you like, in tubs. Just throw that straight in. Hit next. Insert measuring cup. 5 seconds on speed 6. So when you're buying your grated cheese, like your Parmesan, tasty cheddar, all that sort of stuff, you're actually getting anti-caking agents in it as well. So there's our cheese grated. Now I'll buy a block of Parmesan and I'll do it straight away. Then I'm good for the week. So what it does also, it takes out some of the steps in some of the recipes. So it's a recipe like risotto, and that says, you know, grate your cheese first. You don't need to, because you've done the whole block when you bought it. So that's a great little tip. So we're going to put our grated cheese just in a little bowl here. Next, 350 grams of zucchini. Now, zucchini is the base of this recipe. It can be whatever you want, really. Insert measuring cup, and we're going to blitz that down for 4 seconds. You notice I didn't have to cut it down much. It was just literally chunks. Speed 4. seconds again. You could take some of this out at this point and pop it in a little container so that your little people in your world have got some zucchini just to munch on as well. I'm just going to put that aside. Don't be scared to throw in other bits, you know, broccoli, ends, all the rest of it. You can just throw it straight in. 1 onion, some bacon, whatever you've got left in the fridge. If you've got some chicken or whatever, throw that in, that's fine. Doesn't have to be exactly what the recipe says. Insert measuring cup, and again, we're going to blitz this down for 3 seconds on speed 5. Scrape down sides. So there we go. The onion and our bacon chopped down, which is great. It's asking me to saute that down for 5 minutes. I'm not going to. This is a quick, easy recipe. I just throw this straight in the oven. So I'm going to add my 5 eggs. Should have had these open ready for you. This is a great one for using up. Don't be scared to throw in, like I said, carrot, broccoli, leek, whatever you want. It's an easy one. And there's a lot of different quiches and tarts and things around that you can use for your meals as well as for the kids. 100 grams of rice flour. That's another product you don't need to purchase. Just mill down some rice, speed 10 for about 20 seconds, and you've got rice flour. Add your grated cheese and your zucchini or whatever vegetables you happen to have. It doesn't matter, it can be whatever. And 80 grams of olive oil. I'm going to do a bit less than 80. I don't think it needs that much. Okay, hit next. Insert measuring cup. 6 seconds, speed 4, reverse. So what we do now, we just basically pour it into either a slab tin, or I'm actually going to be pouring it into these molds. So they make individuals. So I can pop these in the freezer and get them out anytime I like. And I can easily chop them in half for little people. So I'll just show you how I'll put them in. Now, a lot of these molds you can get at the mix shop. They have a heap there. If you want the link, just go to themixshop.com, pop in your consultant as, you know, your consultant. So they get a little bit of kickback from that, which is awesome. If you don't have one and I'm your consultant, that's great too, which a lot of you are. A lot of you have been around this Thermomix for a long time, which is awesome. So I'm just going to bake those in the oven now for about 20 minutes. So the Thermomix tells me everything to do. Bake on 180. In a slab tray, you're looking at half an hour. I'm probably looking at 15 to 20 minutes for these ones. Another fantastic snack for the kids and for the mums. So you're getting all that nutrition without the fuss, and these can be ready, done in your freezer, ready to go. You can serve these hot or cold as well. Okay, so I'm just going to recap what we've done tonight. So we've done our almond cashew slice and our lactation cookies for our breastfeeding mums. They're two fantastic recipes, quick and easy. Have a look at those. We've done our banana coconut custard. We've done a mango and kiwi puree. So these kids are going to be having lots and lots of different flavours. So, which is going to be absolutely fantastic. So we've got our mango and kiwi there. We've got our custard. We've done roast chicken and veg. What else have we done? Our cashew slice as well. We've cooked our rice, veggies for our meal as well as a meal for the bub. It's really endless. What I can say is use your Thermomix to try different things. As I said, it doesn't have to be whole meals for the little ones. You can actually puree down whatever you're eating. Just be mindful of nuts and things like that, because the first time you introduce those, you're not sure what kind of reaction you're going to get. So, of course, liaise with your health nurse as well. I'm not a nutritionist or anything. I'm just a mum who loves using their Thermomix, which is awesome. So I hope I've given you some ideas to try some different flavours, to try some different, textures and that with your kids. So make your own stuff. Don't worry about buying stuff in the supermarket. There are places for that. Like, you've got to sort of think of that as like, that's the takeaway food. Like some nights we just want to have takeaway. So you might get, Chinese takeaway or whatever. Think of the pre-made baby food and toddler foods as the takeaway. So if you don't have little tubs like these ready to go, you can try those. So sterilising the bottles, Kate wanted me to run through those again. So basically, Kate, all you need to do, put a litre of water in the bottom of your bowl, make sure it's really clean and make sure your aroma is nice and clean. So put a litre on. Where is the lid? Aroma lid. Yeah, here's one. So you pop in your bottles, your plates, your spoons, whatever you need. Pop that over the top. Put your lid on. Now you want to turn it on for about 15 minutes on Varoma speed 2. So what that's going to do, it's going to produce enough steam to push up through the Varoma to steam and sterilise your bottles and things like that. So that was absolutely fantastic. That's a great tip. If you want to have, I can send you that information if you like on the email I'm going to send to everybody. So we'll go through that as well. So that's basically how you do it. 1 litre, bottles in the top, dummies, whatever you want in the Varoma. 15, 20 minutes, Varoma speed on speed 2, which is awesome. I'm just going to pop that in the chat for you. So, yeah. Does anyone have any questions at all? I just want to scroll through that chat if I can. I'll just see if I can. What I'll do is I'll take some photos of what we've made tonight and I'll pop them in the event so that you can see. And I'll also pop these recipes on an email for you guys so you can see them. Grating cheese, absolutely fantastic. Kelly does hers in muffin tins as well. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Muffin tins, anything that's small will work really, really well. Oh, Trish said well done. Thank you, Trish. Show us how to sterilise the bottles. Done that. Annie, that was one of the best. Oh, Annie, thank you. She's loved our demonstration. I hope so, because I never know. I'm saying that, I don't know what's going to appeal to people. So I'm really pleased you're here and I'm glad you got a lot out of it. So thank you so much for that. Oh, there's your sterilising your bottles there. Oh, thanks, Mads. Mads is awesome. She's one of my consultants. We work really well together, which is awesome. Awesome. I'm so glad you all enjoy it. Get the most out of your Thermomix. If you don't have a Thermomix yet, or you'd like to upgrade onto a Thermomix 6, please reach out to me. I'm more than happy to help you set that up, or better still, you can come along and earn it and join me. So it's up to you. All right, I'm going to sign off. I'm going to organise all this for you because my sister, who looks after her grandchildren, is about to get a month's supply of baby food. So she's going to be really, really grateful, I reckon. So have a great time. Yes, Alana, Cookie Doo has all of these recipes. There's some great collections on Cookie Doo. One in particular is called, where's my book? Whole Food Child. Now, I've got the book here. So all these recipes are on Cookie Doo, and most of them tonight are out of this book. So the good thing about they're on Cookie Doo, that's fantastic. If you're really interested, I would think about maybe purchasing this book, because the first few pages, there is so much information in there around allergies, around butter, dairy, fats, what food groups, when to try it, why variety matters, what sort of nutrition you've got to be mindful of. There's a lot in there about weaning children, and there's a lot in there about breastfeeding and postnatal care as well. So, but the collection is on Cookie Doo. It's called Whole Food Child. There's another one, this is the Louise Keats book. There's another one called My Baby and Me, I think it is. But on Cookie Doo, if you just Google baby food or toddlers or anything like that, you'll find a mountain of recipes. So have fun searching, and I will see you all again soon. The next class I'm going to do is probably not maybe next week, but the week after. I'm going to go up or run. So I'm going to do toddlers into kinder. So snacks, freezer stashes, quick meals. I want to talk about pre-doing all your curry bases and pasta sauces and that, so that they're already there for you. You don't have to get the jar out or anything. You can just pull it straight out of the freezer, throw it in with some chicken, and you're done. So that's the best thing. There's too many things I want to do, but we'll get through it. So, okay, I'm going to head off. Mads is coming to that one. You might actually want to present with me, Mads. That would be awesome. Anyway, we'll see you all soon, and I'll send you an email. Thanks for joining me. Bye.